Have you had instances in surgeries where you just can't explain that it turned out the way it did, good or bad? And it's like there's no training, there's nothing in the books, but somehow they lived or whatever, or they didn't.
Absolutely. There was a patient who'd had perforation of her bowel, her intestines.
Mm-hmm.
I opened her. She was in tremendous pain. Her abdomen was distended, full of feces. Now,
man,
this is not something from which you survive.
Right.
We opened her up. I saw this. I knew I was looking at a dead woman. But one tries. We washed her out. We cleaned. I cut out a portion of her bowel. We did everything. When she comes back into my office, it is one of the most satisfying experiences that you could ever have.
I can imagine.
She is still alive. Took a couple of surgeries.
Sure.
Doesn't look like she ever turned a hair, to be quite honest about it. So that's one of those. So it's not Wayne Tuckson.
Yeah.
I mean, my role was to get out of the way, to do whatever I could do to let nature take its course. So clearly that was it. I had a guy once who bled. And the more I tried to stop his bleeding, the more he bled. Now what happens after a while, you get this cascade where you use up all your coagulating or clotting factors, and they're just not going to stop. We transfused everything we could do, and he just bled, and he bled, and I never felt more impotent in my life, because supposedly with all these skills that I had for something relatively minor, I couldn't keep him from bleeding to death on the table with me. And the fascinating thing is, and I don't want to sound morbid,
Sure.
I don't know if it's me or if it actually other people experience the same thing, because I must admit I've never talked about it. When a person dies on the table, there is a sudden change to me in the way that person looks. It is though the soul or something has left. Now it can be just within seconds of the time you say this person has died or there's no EKG activity. But there's something different, and I can't put my finger on what that something is. It is fascinating, and the other thing, it is frightening.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
So those
It's
are two
interesting that you'd say that. I've witnessed a family member or two in that moment.
things.
So I agree with you without getting into the details. But yeah, there's something that changes.
It's amazing,
And it's
isn't it?
palpable.
Yeah,
It very much is.
It is. Well, thank you for telling me that.
No, it
Yeah.
very much is.